Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. My name is Bernadette Desir, and I'm your host. And joining me today is special guest Rahul. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, Burnett,
You're
here.
welcome. Welcome to the podcast. I'm excited to hear more of the amazing work that you've been doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited to be here and then share uh, wisdom from my experience.
Yes, yes. So, can you start by telling us who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. So Rahul is a individual who loves to serve people. I'm a servant leader at heart.
Mm-hmm.
I help aspiring managers, leaders become more empowered individuals. I also focus on helping our student community to design their life their way. Based in Washington, D.C. metro area,
Mm-hmm.
been in the corporate for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my journey, my next journey to help larger community through my workshops and coaching.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Mhm.
What made you focused on helping students? Because that's pretty powerful.
Absolutely. So in my 20 years of experience, Burnett, I have interviewed, hired, trained many students
Mm-hmm.
because primarily we used to hire from colleges both in US, India, and as well as in Philippines.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And my experience was mixed. When I say mixed, there were folks whom we hired, whom we thought that they had amazing potential. We realized that either within 6 months of time frame, either they quit on us or we asked them to go. We
Mm-hmm.
were not able to unleash their potential. They were not able to give their best. And I realized somewhere they were lost. So from that experience, I wrote my first paper book, Habits for Miracles. And when I was writing this book, the student community was in my mind because I do believe that if healthy habits, right habits get inculcated early on,
Mm-hmm.
it can lead the benefits for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the reason I started putting my focus on students.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in your book, Habits for Miracles, I love the title, by the way.
Thank you.
You emphasize transformative power of small habits.
Mhm.
Can you give us some examples of these habits and explain how they can lead to significant changes over time?
Sure, sure. So one of the question that normally I get is how we inculcate habits
Mm,
and what are the challenges we get in inculcating habits. So by small habits, what I mean, one is don't have too many habits in one go.
mm,
Let's say if you want to change one thing, you start small. For example, if your goal is to lose 10 pounds weight, now you can keep thinking about it. You can keep putting notes that, okay, I will start gym tomorrow. I will do my dieting. I will do my
mm,
this. I will do that. We,
mm,
we procrastinate and we keep on thinking too much about the end goal. My request to our listeners would be think, but at the same time, take action.
mm,
And don't think of taking bigger action or the longer step. Take the baby step.
mm,
In this scenario that I explained, the first step or baby step in my perspective would be getting up in the morning if you are not a morning riser. So if you
Yeah.
want to go to a gym in the morning and if you are waking up at 8 o'clock, but you want to go to gym at 6, first thing would be get into routine of waking up at 6. So small things. Then my next step would be waking up, getting up dressed.
Mhm, mhm,
And if I can do more, I will go and do a trip to the gym. Instead of day one, I dressed up, I'm all decked up, I go to gym, I exercise for hours, and then come home very exhausted.
mhm,
Most of the individuals who sign up for gym membership in the first month of the year, because that is when they take the New Year resolution.
Yeah.
It does not last more than 3 months,
Yeah.
right? And if you want to sustain any change, it needs to be done in a
Mm.
specific way. That's where I said start small.
Yeah.
Don't make your goal big, but then create small steps.
Mhm.
First step that will take you to the next level. So that is what I mean by small habits, or a small steps can take you to bigger places.
Yeah, yeah. I love that because you're right. Often
Mhm.
we have an idea, we have resolutions. By the way, you're right, those resolutions, they don't last. And I'm guilty of that as well, because every single year we want to be better than we've been than the last year. How can we build habits that last?
So one of the thing, as I mentioned, that start small, that is number
Yeah.
one. The other thing, in my experience, uh, whenever I have tried to do too many things at one go,
Hmm.
it's not sustainable. So if you want to change your habit or build a habit, don't make 2 to 3 habits in one go. Pick one. Okay.
Hmm.
And how do you pick one? Is you need to prioritize.
Yeah.
What is your priority? If you want to have 5 habits or inculcate 5, you need
Hmm.
to prioritize those 5 and then pick one and then start small.
Yeah.
The next thing would be show gratitude to people who are around you,
Hmm. Hmm.
to your family members, to your friends.
Hmm.
Create a mindset of giving, create a mindset of being kind. Sometimes we are not able to adapt to things because we think that we know it all. I have it. But
Hmm.
when we realize that whatever we have is for a reason, if I am getting food on the table, maybe there is someone cooking for me. Maybe there is mother, my sister, my spouse, or my family member is cooking. Or it is the DoorDash who is delivering the food to me. Someone is helping you in getting that food. So
Yeah.
we need to be grateful and kind.
Hmm.
Um, another, the third thing. So first step is start small. Have maybe just one to start with. Second step, as I mentioned, is create that mindset of gratitude and show kindness.
Hmm.
Number three would be is surround yourself with people who are uplifting your energy rather than suppressing your energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this people, I call them as an inner circle. Your inner circle would be the one who is always pumping you up, who is always motivating you.
Hmm.
And the people who are part of the inner circle, I have one comment for you as well. So let's say if I am a part of your inner circle, and then you come to me and share something. Even if I know that what you are saying is absolutely absurd, not going to happen, whatever it is, at that moment, I need to mirror your energy. If your energy is high, I, as a part of your inner circle, I need to mirror that energy. I need to stay high energetic.
Hmm.
Now, we can always have a discussion about it later, but that same moment, just give them the positive energy. And this is one of the common mistake I see. I have been guilty to it as a parent. When my son or my daughter is with high energy, I'm doing something, I don't give them that energy back. So
Hmm.
it's a work in progress for me. But this is, I have learned hard way that when you reciprocate the energy, it really helps. So someone who wants to start new habit, 3 things keep in mind. Number one, start small. Number two would be, when I say start small, means pick one of the habit which you want to inculcate. Number two would be make it easy, make it small, as well as create that mindset of showing gratitude and humble, be kind. And number three, look at your inner circle. You need
Yeah.
to be part of the inner circle, which is giving you positive energy.
Mm. I love that. The inner circle. Often we don't focus on that because we're used to it. We're used to being around the people we are around, and we don't want to change anything because it's comfortable to stay where we are. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I
Absolutely.
find that the people we surround ourselves in, they're either building us or they're not building us, and we're staying at their level. So I love that. Thank you. Yeah.
Correct, correct. And I think the one good point that you're bringing up is the people who are around us, either build us or they don't build us.
Yeah.
So let's say, if you are in a corporate, your leader, your manager, they
Hmm.
will play a big role in building you up or building you down.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, you are the only person who should be responsible for your success.
Yeah.
The only person who is between you and your success is you.
Mm.
So we can always think about, I don't have a right organization, my leader is not good, my family is not good, my friends are not good. We can always find out reasons why things are not working for us.
Hmm.
My request would be find the reasons why things are working for you.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. If I may add, what are the significance of maintaining a healthy mindset when it comes to habits?
Oh my God, this is maybe a one-on-one,
Yeah.
because if your mindset is not right,
Hmm.
you will not be able to move forward.
Yeah.
So, so think about it. If people say that I'm sad,
Mm.
or people say I'm happy, right? You must have heard.
Hmm.
In my experience, I have seen if you start thinking about being sad, automatically you will become sad.
Yeah.
If you start thinking about being happy, you will become happy. So our mind does not distinguish between what is real and imaginary.
Mm.
So if you put negative thought in your mind,
Mm.
you will think negative action will come out of it.
Yeah.
So having a healthy mindset or a positive mindset is 101 of building healthy habits or building any habit for that matter,
Hmm.
because this is the cornerstone. You cannot uh, go and do something for yourself when your mindset is not right.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for
Oh,
sharing. Yeah.
yeah,
Can you give us more information on the topic of building blocks for a brighter future? I love that, by the way. And what
absolutely.
inspired you to develop that topic?
So this is the top talk I prepared when I was invited to speak to a management institute.
Mm.
And I thought that students normally look for their job, and I'm talking about the MBA students where I went for this talk. And when I was speaking to the professor, he shared with me that this is the week or this is the month where they have already completed their education, they are going for jobs, and they are not getting jobs. So they are literally demotivated. So we want you to come and do some motivation talk. That was the context.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that what should I talk about?
Hmm.
And that's where I prepared this, that what is the building block that you need to have in order to be successful. And these building blocks is not something that you will go and buy from Home Depot or anywhere else. These
Yeah.
are building blocks that you have within you.
Mm.
And if you allow, I will share those building blocks. Is
Yes,
that okay?
absolutely. Yes, yes. Please do
So
so.
what I shared was 5 building blocks I shared. Number one is be someone who is accomplishing task. You
Mm.
need to be the one who is getting things done. If your teacher, professor, leader is coming to you, they're coming to you for help.
Mm.
If they would be knowing the answers, probably there is a possibility that they may not come to you.
Yeah.
So if it is coming to you, you figure it out. You talk to right people. You speak to your leader or ask questions, relevant questions,
Mhm.
and focus on getting things done. Most of us, we keep things stranded. We don't do things. We just keep it's lingering on our table. So number one building block is be the one who is getting things done.
Mhm. Yeah.
Number two is take decisions.
Mm.
Good or bad, time will tell you.
Mhm.
But make a decision. Take a decision.
Mhm.
Many a times we don't take a decision, and that is where things may not go right for us.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when you take a decision, if, for example, if it does not go well, you will learn. You will learn from that experience.
Yeah.
And if it goes well, then it boosts your confidence to move forward. So
Mhm.
that is number two, is taking decision.
Yeah.
Number three building block is having a belief in your own self.
Mm.
You need to believe that you can do this.
Mhm.
You need to have your mindset needs to be right, because everything happens from here. So first we think and then we speak. Similarly, we think and then we take action. So you need to have that belief that you are worthy and you can do this. Because if you do not have belief in yourself, no one else will.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? What is motivating you, or what are you thinking that this person should believe in you? They will
Mm.
not believe if you don't believe in you.
Yeah.
That is number three, believe in yourself. Right?
Mhm.
Number four is be a curious learner.
Mm.
And it is when during my training days, when I used to lead a team, learning and development team, one of the things I used to tell my trainers is our content has to be keeping in the mind a fifth grader.
Mm.
That should be the level of language we need to use that can be understood by a fifth grader. And another thing about fifth grader is they're very curious. They keep asking a lot of questions.
Mhm.
So we need to be curious. We need to be a learner for life. So
Mm.
it's always learning.
Mhm.
You need to think, when was the last time when you spend an hour or 30 minutes in getting more information about your industry, getting more information about the subject that you are specializing in, or getting to know about the industry, job market, whatever the field may be.
Mhm.
Spend time in learning things. When was the last time you read a book? When was the last time you heard a motivational TED talk or motivational podcast like this? Ms. Burnett is doing an amazing job in calling
Mhm.
speakers, calling so many guests for you.
Mhm.
So tune into those podcasts or those avenues where you can learn. So that
Mhm.
is number four, is be a curious learner.
Yeah.
Number five is understand the opportunity or know the opportunity in front of you.
Mhm. Mhm.
At times, we feel that ting tong will happen, someone will ring a doorbell, knock on your door, and give you the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that will not happen.
Mhm.
You need to grab the opportunity the moment you see one.
Mhm.
So you need to be lookout. You will need to be on a lookout for opportunities.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right now, as a speaker and a trainer, one of the things I'm looking out for opportunities. So I'm talking. I can't just sit at home assuming that people will come to me and
Yeah.
ask me for engagement. So I need to step out. I need to talk to people. I need to let the people know who am I, what I do.
Mhm.
Similarly, for you, you need to network, build relationship.
Mhm.
And when you see an opportunity, don't think, take a decision.
Mhm. Mhm.
At times we miss a lot many opportunities because we fail to decide,
Yeah.
and then it goes to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these are the five building blocks for brighter future. Number one
Mhm.
is accomplishing task.
Mhm.
Number two is take decisions. Number
Mhm.
three is um, believe in yourself. Number four is opportunities, or sorry, be a curious learner. And number five is look out for opportunities. Uh,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone who can identify the opportunities for them would be the one who will be a very very successful and will get a lot of diverse experience to be ready for tomorrow's workforce.
Mm. Those are pretty powerful. And I love that you called it building because you're literally building step by step. And with each step, there's growth and potential. And you can witness the miracle that happens when you believe in those steps. I love that. Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, what advice would you have for people who are procrastinators for number one?
Okay, so people who are procrastinators, as I mentioned about in the building blocks, getting things done.
Yeah.
Uh, so one of the technique I will tell you is if there is anything that is coming on your plate which you can accomplish in less than 3 minutes, do it right now. Whether it is an email, responding to an email, responding to a text, responding to a voicemail, whatever it may be, if you can do it in less than 3 minutes. And number two would be move your jobs into small chunks. There is this book written by Mr. Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. And he has spoken about how the first thing in the morning or in the first half of your work day, you should finish the difficult task.
Yeah.
Whatever is the difficult task of the day, finish it first so that the entire day would be easy. Here, what I'm saying is, let's say if you have a pile of tasks, when you look at those pile of tasks, it may be daunting. It may be looking very, very heavy on you. But create all those big jobs into chunks, smaller pieces, and keep on accomplishing one after another. In my book, Be Action Oriented, I have mentioned about 5 keys to take consistent action, because you can't keep on thinking about the task is big. Yes, it is a human mind, we will think, but focus on taking action. Instead of thinking too much about how that task is big, think about taking action. And if you take action, it will create a momentum and you will be able to lead a happier life.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. For me, I'll speak for myself, maybe other people. When I procrastinate is because I have fears. Fear that things may not go how I expect them to be, or maybe a perfectionist who want things to go their way versus how it should go naturally.
Very good question. And probably a few years ago, my response would be different. Now today it will be different. Because there was a point in my life where I was a perfectionist. And it took me time to learn. And I do not know how many of the listeners will agree that there is no such thing called perfectionist.
Yeah.
It is all about the perspective.
Mm.
Because what a perfection to me may not be for you.
Yeah.
So someone who is procrastinating because of fear, let me share this one thing. The 2 biggest enemy of us, number 1 is expectations, and number 2 is time. Time is our biggest enemy. The way I look at it is because time never stops for anyone. Time is the one who will keep on moving. Whether even if you say that time is your friend, that friend will not come and sit beside you.
Yeah.
He will keep on moving. So if you don't catch up with time, it can be your biggest enemy. Similarly, expectations. We feel bad, we feel embarrassed because of the expectations. The expectation that we have with us, the expectation others have with us. And whenever we have expectation, we feel bad, we feel sad when they are not met. So avoid having, and I would not say avoid, I know we are human beings, expectations are there, but don't hold yourself too much with that expectation that, man, I need to focus on this. Do it, get it done. Taking action is more important. And with respect to time, please obey and give due respect to time. Time is one thing which will never stop. So if you take your own sweet time in doing things, don't blame anyone else, right? It will impact you. So do it today if you need to do it. Don't wait for tomorrow. There is never tomorrow, right? There is never today. It is always now. So if you have to take action, you have to take now. It is now or never in the way I.
Yeah. As you were speaking about expectation, it brought so many things in mind for me. Expectation. Oh, mine, because we get reprogrammed and programmed so young as kids. We grow up having to carry the weight of expectations of what our parents expect of us. We go
Mhm.
to school, there's expectation there with the teachers, the grades, and then relationship. Literally every stage of life, you will find those expectations. So when we get to be on our own, adults, how can we dismantle those beliefs and expectation and have it be ours and healthy?
Yeah, very good question. The way I look at that is expectation will never go away.
Mm,
I think people will have expectations. The better way to manage that is having an open communication,
yeah.
open dialogue, open conversation.
Mm,
You were talking about grades expectations. So when my son, who is turning 10 next week, when he started playing soccer, he was part of a team which was winning all the time. Okay,
mm,
every game they were winning.
mm,
First season they became champion, very good. Second season he was in the same team, amazing.
mhm, mhm,
I thought maybe in third season I thought that okay, I need to put him up to a challenge team, so a bigger, challenging group of people,
mhm,
and that's where he started losing, and
mm.
it did not go well with him because he was expected to win, or he was thinking that he will win.
Mhm,
The reason I'm sharing that is sometimes in our life we need to lose as well.
mm,
Because when we lose, we that's where we get to know all the momentum, all the emotions, all the things around us.
mhm,
And our philosophy, as my and me and my wife philosophy, is not about winning.
mm.
We tell to our kids that go and give your best.
Yeah.
Compete with yourself. Don't compete with others
Mm,
because there is no end to it.
yeah.
You can always compete with you
Mhm,
because you know yourself better.
mm,
So our way of looking at things is be your own competitor, beat your own record every single day, every other week. That is where you will be able to make a improvement.
mm,
And the one of the specific thing that you mentioned, so I will give you three different scenarios. One is corporate. Let's say in corporate. In corporate, you have expectations. You are an employee, you're a manager, a leader. You have expectations.
mhm,
It is better to have something called expectation document,
mm,
or I used to have one where um, my own methodology, like how do I like to work with people? What is my style? When I expect them to give me a report, what they need to do when they are running late to office, or when they are running late for a report.
mhm,
So the document got created. So whenever a new team member was joining, they were having that document. So it
mm,
is a very clear communication.
mhm,
In a personal setting, when you are starting a new relationship, it is always good to have that kind of conversation. The unfortunate part is no one wants to have difficult conversation. Everyone wants to have that goody goody conversation, and that is where things started to getting into a very difficult piece.
yeah.
So my request is it's
Mhm,
good to have those difficult conversations early on, because
mhm,
the difficult conversation happens from heart, and when
mm,
you talk to your heart, you are being heard,
mhm,
you are listened. So talk with your heart and then share your things. It's okay. It's okay not to come closer to someone's expectation. It's okay. You are you. You are different.
mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
That person, most of the time, when we are having some expectation, we are thinking someone else in our mind.
Mhm,
We are not thinking about that individual.
mhm,
So avoid having expectations. Create your standards. Instead of expectation, create your standards and have or request or uh, inspire your people, your family members, your team members
mhm.
to meet up with that standard.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm, mhm.
And
Yeah.
that standard also, it's, I don't want to make it more a corporate. There is, for example, I'll tell you that we have this ritual at our home that every day between 9:15 to 9:30, um, we talk. Four of us we talk. Our kids go to bed at 9:30, but that 15 minutes is our talking time, chit chat time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a decorum that we have at our home, but now sometimes it happens that they are tired or we are late or running late, and it doesn't happen. And once in a while, it doesn't happen. It's okay.
Mm,
So we need to learn to let go. It's
yeah.
not that it has to happen. No, I cannot punish kids. No, 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 we have to do it. No, we have no. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that is where the let go needs to happen. We cannot have a army or military rule at home that 6 o'clock means 6 o'clock. No, we
Yeah.
cannot do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
So
agree. Yeah. So how do you maintain motivation and how do you continue to inspire others in your personal and professional journey?
so one of the things which I religiously do is have that gratitude piece. So
Mm-hmm.
while getting up and while when I go to bed, so this I pray to Almighty for
Mm-hmm.
giving me everything or providing me with the opportunities or being thankful to them, to God for what I have. That is number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I am motivated based on the result I see when I interact with people, when I interact with my coaches, when I interact with my clients. So when they tell me about the success that they are getting based on the interaction, that really works wonders for me. So that's a big motivation. Number three is the purpose. The purpose, your purpose is bigger than you. So
Mm-hmm.
my purpose is to lead people to their own greatness.
Mm-hmm.
My purpose is to share my learnings of my book or the insights of my book to larger community. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have purpose, that really pushes you. So you need to have purpose, have the gratitude in gratitude journal or maybe a gratitude statement on a daily basis. That is really working good for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
The word motivation, I think it means something different for everybody. When
Mhm.
I think of it as a mom, I have to continue to stay motivated to be there for my kids. If it's someone who's at a job, they need to be motivated and doing what they're told and able to be successful and to stay at the job they're at. What does that word mean to you?
So, as you mentioned, motivation means different to different people. 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
And motivation at times, Bernard, is temporary
Mm,
because you are motivated for example, you attended a motivational session,
mm-hmm,
you will be pumped up maybe for 24 hours, maybe a week, and it will go away.
mm-hmm,
Motivation for me is getting the energy that I should be energized enough to translate that energy into action. That is motivation for me. But
mm-hmm,
again, that motivation, as I said, it is temporary. So I need to act fast because maybe in 24, 48 hours or 72 hours, that motivation might go away.
mm-hmm,
So if you think that you attend one motivational session and you are good for the entire year, no,
mm-hmm,
unfortunately, that is not true.
mm-hmm,
Uh, Ideally, I have seen in some good people or some people who are very focused about their future, about the business. 3 months, a motivational session goes into 3 months, and this I'm saying based on my experience because when I used to speak with my employees, they used to tell me that, man, I'm waiting for that quarterly meeting with you because that really pumps me up for the next quarter.
mm-hmm,
So that really helps. So for you, you need to be on a regular or a daily lookout for what motivates you.
mm-hmm,
Or
mm-hmm.
what are you doing to motivate yourself?
Yeah.
Because motivation is temporary, is the inspiration you inspire people for long to take action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Earlier you were talking about gratitude. I love that. How do you
Yes.
practice gratitude?
So in my personal life, as I was sharing earlier, I practice it by doing prayers in the morning.
Mm,
More than the prayers, it is just the way I do it, just thank for whatever action, whatever accomplishment I had
mm-hmm,
over the previous day. For
Mhm.
example, over this weekend, I connected with many people on Facebook community,
Mhm.
sharing with them who am I, and I was grateful for the opportunity this came to me. So I'm just thanking Almighty that gave me the wisdom first to go on Facebook community
Yeah.
and do a right search,
Mhm. Mhm.
look at those profiles, and then respond to them.
Mhm.
So it is all. So I'm thankful because if I would have not taken that first action, which is going into Facebook, probably things would have not happened. I mean, this discussion we are doing is as a result of that effort, right? So we get to know people. So I just thank to Almighty for all the previous action and this be there that I'm alive. I think
Mhm.
it is also important for us to ask that question: why
Mhm.
am I alive?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
Why God
absolutely.
has kept you alive? What is your purpose?
Mhm.
Have a purpose, you will have a purposeful life.
Yes, yes, I love that. Yeah. Speaking of purpose, let's talk about potentials. What are some messages that you have for my audience when it comes to their potential and also creating a brighter future for themselves?
So, for unleashing your potential, one thing which I would always recommend is know your inner landscape,
Mm,
who you are.
yeah.
Many a times when I speak to my clients, I get to know that they themselves don't know them.
Mm,
They
mhm,
know about them whatever someone else has told them.
mhm,
They have never done that soul searching. So my request would be spend time in knowing what are your strengths.
mhm.
And yes, it is easy to go to a strength finder tool or some Google some tool and do that strength assessment. But I would encourage you to do that soul searching within yourself
Mm,
and ask few questions.
mhm, mhm,
What was the thing when you lost track of your time? What were you doing when you lost track of your time?
mm,
Now, most of the times you lose track of the time when you are doing something that you are fully engrossed in.
mhm,
That could
mhm.
be your passion. That could be your strength.
Yeah, 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 I
Uh,
agree. Yeah.
Talk to people in your inner circle. Call them and let them know what do they think your strengths are. What do they think your areas of improvement? When it's not about thinking, but what is their observation? Because
Mm,
people who are your well-wishers, people who have worked with you closely, who have known you for long, they will be in a better situation to share with you your inputs.
yeah.
So that is number one: is know yourself. Other thing I would say is I have created this acronym called BOLD. Be bold,
Mm, mhm,
and bold of the B stands for believe in yourself. O stands for optimistic.
mhm,
Be optimistic.
mhm,
You cannot be pessimistic because if you are thinking something wrong, wrong will happen.
mhm.
It is not me, it is the science. Right? Just Google it. That is how it works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Number three is L, love yourself. Take care of yourself. What are you doing to take care of your own body?
Mm, yeah.
And D is dream. Dream big.
Mhm,
Because unless and until you have a dream, you will not be having a purpose. So you need to have a dream. So believe in yourself, be optimistic, love yourself, and have a dream.
mhm.
You will be able to know a lot many things, the talents that you have. Every individuals, every one of us, whoever is listening to this podcast, you have a talent.
Yeah.
Do you know what your talent is?
I'm still searching. I'm searching, and I
Yeah.
love hearing other people's input on what I'm doing, and because I don't always see what they see.
Mhm.
I like to go outside of myself and hear from
Mhm.
other people. I'm told I interview good, I am a good painter and all those good stuff. And then you're talking about the self-love part. That is a lifelong journey.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's where most of us struggle. Most of us
Yeah.
struggle in that because we are not conditioned to
Hmm.
take care of ourselves. Because what we have seen is all we're doing for family, for friends, but we hardly take time for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Yeah.
is where one of the bigger impact, bigger change needs to come in, where we
Mm-hmm.
look at how others are, how are we doing things for our own selves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, what are some building blocks that we can use in everyday life to help us have a brighter future?
So, from a future perspective, as I share those 5 building blocks
Mm-hmm.
for a brighter future, which is number one is getting things done,
Mm-hmm.
accomplishing task.
Yeah.
Number two is your how you take decisions or take decision wisely.
Mm-hmm.
Number three is be a curious learner. Uh, Look at the opportunities coming your way and believe in yourself. So these are the 5 building blocks for a brighter future.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Apart from that, if you want to build your future, from a student perspective, I would share, don't wait for your senior year to start looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
My recommendation would be start early. Start from your freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, freshman year.
Yeah.
And you will be surprised that how things will fold for you,
Yeah.
unfold for you. Sorry. It
Mm-hmm.
will become very easy for you. Yes, you have to have a blueprint. You need to know what you need to have a mentor in you or in your school who will
Mm-hmm.
guide you.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I would say is cultivate relationship, nurture relationship. This is something which is probably go places. We at times undermine the value of relationship, undermine the value of networking.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think of having a networking from a self-gain perspective. Always when you are networking, the way I look at it is I'm always thinking of how can I help this person?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do? How I can add value for this person? That is going in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in the long run, I also want to meet new people to see what they are doing and how we can value each other. But in my mind is how I can value them,
Mm-hmm.
how I can create an impact that really makes a difference in that individual's life.
Mm-hmm.
Why and how this person will remember me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if when you are in a networking event, you are meeting hundreds of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you doing differently? What are you having a conversation about? What inputs are you sharing?
Mm-hmm.
So focus on that, nurturing your relationship and networking.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not the least, have a positive attitude.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do things in life, you will be able to do with a positive intent, with a positive mindset, the positive attitude. If you always, so for example, I think Bernard, you were talking about the expectations, right? And as a mom, there are certain expectations.
Mm-hmm.
As an employee, there are certain expectations. So I have been there as a dad, with the
Yeah.
full-time job, trying to set up my business with the family to take care. And
Mm-hmm.
I learned from a wise person a few years ago, and he shared with me, you need to change your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of thinking that I need to do this, say, I get to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
get to cook food for my family. I get to uh, um, make coffee for my wife.
Mm-hmm.
The moment we think that I have to, it sounds more like a pressure.
Yeah.
But when you make a change by that I get to means you choose to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It is a very different meaning altogether. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever something goes wrong, we always start thinking negative. That okay, man, it's happening to me, to me, to me, to me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about it. Yes, and I understand it is easy for me to say.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about it. Whoever is dealing with is challenging, but for one time, try to have that mindset of positivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You will
Yeah.
just see a huge difference. You will see a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Yeah. I recently heard someone said this. Life is happening Life is not happening to me, it's
To you
happening for me.
or you.
All the challenges we go through, and everything we've faced, all the obstacles, we can see it as if something that's happening to us, then
Mhm.
blame people around us, or we can learn and gain wisdom from that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Very
Mhm.
well said. Very well said.
Yeah. Yeah, Rahul, is there anything else we haven't touched on that you'd like to leave us with?
Uh, I would say for people who are helping people underneath them, so leaders,
Mm,
to play a vital role in someone's career.
mhm,
My
mhm,
request would be know things that you don't know. And in my
mm,
recent workshop with some aspiring managers on covering one of the topic, we spoke about blind spot.
mm.
When you become a new leader, new manager, you are doing things the way you have learned.
Yeah.
You have a right intention, you have a right attitude,
Mhm,
but still you do things that may go wrong subconsciously.
mhm,
And that subconscious thing is about similar to the blind spot that we have on our cars.
mhm,
So you need to identify your blind spots so that you do not repeat those mistakes, so that you do not repeat those errors. And for
mhm,
you to know your blind spot, you need to have trusted individuals around you who can
mhm,
guide you.
mhm.
Hey, the way you said it was not right.
Yeah.
Or, wow, you did amazing. I could not have done it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Or you,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yes, or no, there is spinach on your teeth. Who can tell you? Or for men's, your zip is open. So you
Mhm,
need to have trusted people around you who can share these things.
mhm,
Not any every person walking in next to you will not tell you those things. There has to be someone who trusts you, and you
mm,
trust them. So
mhm,
build a network of trusted individuals around you, and know your blind spot. You will be amazing leader. Trust me. You are actually right now, but you will become a more aspiring leader. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
something I would want to share.
Yeah, absolutely. As you were talking about blind spot, you know how when you're driving, there are blind spots. I don't
Mhm.
know if I would trust someone driving without checking their blind spots on the highway, right? That
Absolutely.
it's very similar to what you described.
Correct. Correct.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have two questions for you as we wrap up.
Yeah.
The first one is, what is the meaning of life for you?
Life with a purpose is what I believe in. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
Meaning for life is just living the life the way it is coming
Yeah.
without thinking about the future, without thinking about the past. Living the way it is coming.
I love that. Last question. Where can my listeners find you, buy your books, and work with you?
Sure. So listeners can log into my website. It's
Hmm.
mindtalksmatters.com.
Hmm.
Or if they can go to Habits for Miracles on Amazon or anywhere book is sold, they can buy it. I have an ebook called Be Action Oriented. So all the procrastinators, if you need to know how you can take consistent action, buy that ebook. It's probably $1 or $2.
Hmm.
Uh, or if you send me an email or connect with me on social media and talk about this episode that
Hmm.
you listen, I will be able to share that is on free just because of your
Hmm.
presence or your
Yeah.
listening ability on this watch on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes, yes. Well, Raul, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for inspiring me today. I needed to hear every word you shared, so thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about the knowledge, the wisdom.
Yes, always, always. Thank you.
Hmm. Bye bye.